Hey, channel, Fernando from SkyFi Audio. Well, I've got some exciting news to share with you guys. Technics just launched a new model. It doesn't happen very often. There's only a few in the lineup, but we're super excited about this one. We've been hoping for something like this recently, and they certainly have delivered. So this is the SL-1300G. Now, the naming convention for Techniques is a little bit funky. So in this video, I'm going to go over what the lineup looks like right now with this edition, where it sits in terms of price, performance, features, because it is confusing. So I'm going to try to dissect this for you guys. Before we jump in, I'm going to link below to a document I've created that has sort of like an FAQ or a starter guide for Techniques Turntable. It's on our website. I'm going to put a link in the comments for you. And secondly, we've got a ton of video reviews on almost every one of these models. So let's start with the lineup. At the top, which is the easier place to remember, is the SL-1000RES at $20,000. It's a formidable turntable, price no object, and it's really hard to beat this, even with turntables of $150,000. I'll put this up against them any day. Just below that is our absolute bestseller. It's not Technique's bestseller, but certainly for SkyFi Audio and the way we configure them, the SL-1200G is a killer piece, beautifully built at 4,300 bucks. Figure about 6 grand by the time you put a good cartridge on it. And the number designation between 1210 and 1200 is really just a color. So we refer to this as the SL-1200G. Below that, until very recently, was the GR2, which was sort of like a canonical version of the G, but a significant step down in performance and build quality. Now, from this picture, they looked identical, but when you see them in person, they are in fact quite different in terms of the feel, the look, the heft, etc. And below that is the SL-1500C, which is an entry-level turntable at 1,300 bucks with a cartridge and a built-in phono preamp. Well, the new 1300G, which is what today's topic is, slots in right between the GR2 at 2,200 bucks and the G, which is an interesting place to go to market. It is in fact $3,200 or 3,300 bucks. By the time you put a good cartridge, you're going to be well into the fours. So what do you get for this $3,200? Well, you get essentially a GR2 platform. A lot of the cabinet, the top plinth, the bottom cabinet, a lot of the elements, including the tone arm, are shared with GR2. But you do get a few upgrades from the G, which are very welcomed. You get the platter, essentially this three-layered copper platter, which I absolutely love, that comes in the G. And then you get the motor, which is a much improved motor over the SL the 1200 GR2. You can identify the motor by these three screws. The magnet structure is attached to the table. It's not attached to the platter. And finally, you get a feature that everyone's been asking for, at least in the comments in all my videos. People say, well, great, I'm glad this is a cool DJ turntable. It looks like a DJ turntable, even though it's not. We'd love to see the deletion of the slider and the strobe on the platter, which they have done. They listen to you guys. So those of you that have been hating on the SL-1200G and the GR2 because it looks like a DJ turntable, well, this is the one for you. So you'll see it's got a smooth platter here and there's no slider on the right. There are other couple of small improvements over the GR2. They have changed the way the power cord is routed in the back, which I absolutely love. It's no longer at a funky angle tucked underneath. It's actually sticking out the back, but far enough into the turntable where it's not going to bang onto your wall or anything like that. And I understand they've also improved the feet, the elastomer feet, or at least the material within the supporting feet. You can't see it here. Now, I'm going to have a video for you guys very shortly. I think in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be able to get my hands on a pre-production sample of this turntable. So if you really want to learn more about it, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you get to see when the video posts. Now, we should be the first in the country to get our hands on this piece, which I'll be super excited. All right, so let's go to our website because we've already configured these. They're already up and running. So if you want to pre-order one of these things, do not hesitate. They're going to go fast, and we're expecting small quantities, at least for the first batch. And if I know Techniques, this is going to be super successful, and they're going to struggle to keep up with demand. If you go to our website, skyfiaudio.com, and you go to brands, Techniques, you'll see we've already built this up. Here it is, the 1300G-K. The K designates black in this model, and the 1300G-S, in which case it designates silver. So let's hop into the silver one. And here's some great pictures. A good picture from the top of the unit. You can see it's a much more sort of residential or consumer feeling turntable, but it has that formidable brass platter. Tone arm is essentially the same as the GR2. The power button is different because we don't no longer have the strobe light built into it. And the buttons remain the same at 33 and 45 with a double press for 78, and the start stop has not changed. All right, let's look at the configurations. You can buy this baby from us with nothing on it. And then starting with calibration, we offer two types. We offer basic mounting, which we will take a cartridge of your choice, whether you purchase it from us or you send it in, and we'll mount it in the headset for you. We'll get it dialed in and able to play and reproduce. It's essentially what you would do at home if you wanted to spend half an hour playing around with this and getting a couple simple tools. We also offer a 12-step premium calibration of 390, which is recommended for this level turntable. For cartridges, we've got a ton of really good stuff. We've preloaded in here the Sumiko line, but we also carry Hana if you prefer that. They're very similar, so we've only put the Sumikos on here. Blue point number 3 and low and high output would be my starting point. If you wanted a moving magnet option, Amethyst is a nice choice. Then moving on to the Songbird, which I suspect is the right price performance for this turntable. Songbird's about $900. That should mate well with this. And then my top choice would obviously be the Sumiko Starling. Is a best-selling cartridge at $1,800. It's a bit of a stretch, but a wonderful piece. And then you can upgrade the stock power and audio cables. We offer cables from Kimber. These have been tuned and tried on this turntable, or at least on the G or the GR2. I suspect they'll perform as well on this one. So this is the one place where you want to spend some money on cables. I'm not a big cable promoter, but on a turntable that has such a low voltage output, a good high quality cable will keep the noise level down. And then if you like power cables, don't expect a lot in terms of performance, but I like nice things on my stuff. So 364 gets you a Kimber cable that'll fit perfectly. It comes with an acrylic cover. It's closer to the GR2 cover than it is to the smoked higher quality cover on the G. Here we see the motor structure. This is a familiar looking motor for us. Oh, and I forgot to mention, unlike the G, the GR2 already has the Delta Sigma drive, the motor drive system. So in a sense, the driving section or the mechanical section of this is superior to the G. In some ways, right? It has the Sigma drive already built into it, and it has the motor from the G. So technically, in terms of the platter and the spinning section, this is superior to the G. But this is not, in fact, a replacement for the G. If you got one on order or you already have one, I would not consider this at all. If you can afford the extra grand, go for the G. If you're sort of shopping the GR2 range and you can stretch a bit further to the $3,300 price range, it is absolutely worth the trouble because of the motor and the platter alone. Now, before we dive a bit deeper into the features, let me talk about availability. So we're being told that we're going to have a handful of each color some point in early December. And so I would say, just between the beginning of the month and the holidays, so we should be able to get our hands on a few of each color, with subsequent deliveries coming in January, February timeframe. So if you want to be one of the first to get one of these, just go to our website and pre-order it. You just purchase it essentially, and we will put your name on the list. If you are okay waiting until January, February timeframe, you're still going to have to order probably at least a month before because these get filled up right away. So that allocation will probably be sold in the next couple of weeks as well. It's an unfortunate thing about these turntables, but the demand essentially makes them difficult to get. I wanted to mention another thing. This will fit our plinth that we just released. This is a wood plinth for the G and GR2, and it will work on the 1300. This is made here. It's made for us at SkyFi Audio. We designed this to give the SL lineup of turntables a more sort of traditional look. People like the vintage aesthetic nowadays for hi-fi systems. So this is available on our website, and it will in fact fit. And we're developing a clear cover that's going to lay on top rather than be hinged. That should be available before the end of the year as well. All right, so let's look at the features. This is what the motor looks like on the G, and essentially the same motor on the 1300 as well. So it is a coreless direct drive motor and it's attached to the actual plinth, not to the entire structure. Both the magnets and the coil windings are attached to the base instead of on the platter. Here's a reference to the motor drive system. This is only available on the GR2, and now it's also available on the 1300. So that's pretty cool. Vibration resistant design here. They talk about the layers. This is a 3-layered platter. So we've got the brass, some sort of viscous rubber damping below it, and then the aluminum die-cast platter minus the strobe markings. The cabinet is a substantial downgrade from the G, from the 1200G. So it is just a 2-layer, so aluminum on top with a painted finish, and then the BMC and below, weighing in probably a similar weight to the GR2. The platters are in fact balanced and trued, just like you would balance the car tire. It's the same thing they do for the platter. So you can see these holes that are made at the factory in order to get this thing balanced absolutely perfectly. Here's a reference to the multi-state power supply, which is also on the GR2, which has active noise cancellation to keep everything as dead quiet as possible. And then, this is the true and tried tone arm from Technics with the removable head shell. We absolutely love this. It gives us the ability to, swap head shells or cartridges at really under 2 minutes. It allows you to send in a cartridge for us to calibrate for you, even though we don't have your turntable in our possession. Tolerances on Technics turntables are so tight that we're able to actually calibrate a cartridge and head shell on one of our turntables and send it off, and it'll perform just as well on yours. And again, they've revamped the dampeners on the bottom of the turntable, probably to adjust for any differences in weight or performance. So they have revised the silicone within the footing. And then the terminals, this happened many, many years ago. They finally went to removable RCA jacks, which was a welcome thing. And last but not least, they've really changed their packing to be absolutely eco-friendly. It's a feat of engineering, this packing. Once you get this turntable, you're going to be amazed at how much they can do with folded cardboard. So there's no styrofoam or anything oil used in any of their packaging. Lastly, I want to go over some of our videos available to you. If you go to SkyFi Audio as the channel, so it's at SkyFi Audio, and you search for Techniques, we have hundreds of videos, but on Techniques, we've got probably a good dozen of them. Here we put a $17,000 cartridge on a $1,300 Techniques, which was quite controversial of a video, but a good fun watch. This is the release video for our plinth that we developed. Here's a great comparison between the 1200G and the 1200GR2. Pretty in-depth comparison where we actually open up the GR2, show you the internals, the power supply, and all that other stuff. This is essentially a release video for the 1200 M7B, which is a Lamborghini collaboration between Lamborghini and Technics. It's a super cool turntable for car buffs and collectors. Here's a review of the SL-1000R. This is just the SL-1300 review, a special edition from the 90s, and finally a very popular SL-1200G review, where we claimed it was the best turntable under 10 grand. And then we went on to do some vibration testing and some sort of deep dive technical stuff where we measured the 1200's vibration resistance and capabilities. So a lot of stuff for you to consume if you'd like. And so I'll link below. Well, I think that wraps it up. Thanks, guys. Again, we're going to have a full feature review of this turntable in a couple of weeks. So please do like and subscribe to the channel so that you're aware when it comes out. And visit our website. We have got quite a bit of cool stuff. And if you, we carry products from Klipsch and McIntosh. We carry a huge collection of vintage equipment. But more importantly, if you go to the bottom of our website, you'll find a place where you can subscribe to our email blast. Every Friday, we send out an email blast featuring all the products that just arrived, both new and used. We don't take advantage of you. We don't bombard you with emails. It's just one a week. Sometimes we'll do a second one if we have a big announcement, but it's a lot of fun. We've got 14,000 people on that email blast. I encourage you to sign up if you're into HiFi. So that's it. Like and subscribe. If you want to stop by SkyFi Audio, it's a crazy shop. So do call and make an appointment. We'd love to show you around. And visit us at skyfiaudio.com. Thanks for watching, guys.